how you can come to Spain in the easiest way. Which visa is the best? Where is the most complicated to get? Let's talk about this. I know the paperwork in Spain is so complicated and sometimes is frustrated. So this is why we have here a lawyer. He wanna tell us all the tricks that you need to know for to get in Spain in a easiest way and arrive to Spain, relax and not so stressful. So let's start. Comenzamos. Okay, Max, we have here Max Aggazi. Your company is Atlex, and you help people to come to Spain, right? So let us tell us how can people can come to Spain, because everyone said that paperwork is so complicated. It's very complicated to do it. Very many years, maybe in that I spent hours, months, and organizing all the papers, and they are lost in the way. So could you help us to organize how is the easiest ways to come to Spain?
Of course. Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here and to explain, so thank you for inviting me. In this regard, it's true that it can be daunting to come to Spain as a resident, because you have to comply basically every visa application. There's many, and I guess we can't discuss them all right now, but every visa application or residence permit application will ask you to give something. So this something that you have to give is either a business plan or a work contract if you're going to work as self-employed or as an employee, or proof that you can support yourself and that you have health insurance if you want a residence permit without a work permit. Or if we're talking more advanced stuff, enough capital for investment, a highly qualified professional job offer, proof that you can work remotely. What I mean is that you generally need to base your application on something. And some of them are easier than others. Having said that, even in the easiest cases, you're looking at several weeks of gathering documents, reviewing the documents to make sure that they are correct, submitting the application, crossing fingers to make sure that you have a positive resolution, getting the residence card. So what I mean is that, and this is in the best cases, some applications can take actual months from the moment in which you submit the application, meaning several months of just waiting. So yes, it's daunting and it's complicated and it's difficult for several reasons, but it's definitely feasible.
Mm-hmm. So how many months do you think you can, if you are organized and you can organize all your documents, how many months you can spend in doing this?
Sure. Well, we have to distinguish two main regimes. We're not going to talk about the EU regime because it's very easy and some people do it through a lawyer, but still. But the general law, we either have the privileged permits, which would be the golden visa, the highly qualified professional, the digital nomad. In this case, the good thing that they have is that you only need a few weeks to gather all the documents, 2 to 5, 2 to 6. But then in 1 month, you have your resolution. This is one. But then we have the general law, which again, you can be very responsible and very organized. But one, you have 2 to 5 or 2 to 6 weeks to gather all the documents, because it doesn't depend so much on your organization, but on the speed of the public administrations of your country releasing documents, on the legalization authorities and whatnot. And then let's say that you go to the consulate, for example. Most of these applications will be done through the consulate of your place of residence, and you submit the application. Then again, your responsibility stops counting, because then it's about how long do they take to solve the application. So, for example, if we're talking about a non-lucrative, the legal term is 3 months, but normally they can do it in 1 or 2 or those 3. But if we're talking about a business activity permit, a self-employment permit, they can take 3, 4, 5, 6. It depends on their workload and everything. So I would say that if someone wants to do a general law residence permit, they should be looking at 3 to 6, 7, 8 months total. This I'm talking until they have their card, the residence card in their hands, and they're already in Spain. But yeah, these permits can be slow.
Mm-hmm. And it's true that the Spanish visa is the most complicated one. Everyone said here in Spain it's so complicated, in other countries it's easier.
I guess it depends, and of course, my only expertise is Spain, so I cannot compare strictly. But one, some countries have a reputation for harsher bureaucracy, like Germany and France, and also they have less offer of residence permits. There's fewer in those countries. Having said that, what may be the case is that in Spain is very bureaucratic, but also very behind. Some countries could be very bureaucratic, but also a bit more advanced. And also the level of English in Spain is terrible as a general rule. So, and the public workers that work in immigration offices and other administrations, they are not required to speak English. Maybe I'm not aware if they internally have some control, but I've accompanied clients many, many times to immigration offices and police stations, and many times people are not able to address them in English. So maybe this makes the process a bit more difficult, even. So this would be my interpretation as of why. Also, it's very imperfect, but I wouldn't say that it's more imperfect or more difficult than other countries. But again, I can't compare.
And this is true. Finding a lawyer as you, like you speak perfectly English, is very hard. Many students told me because even if I know a little Spanish, I prefer to do in English because it's so important. Documents, I don't want to make a mistake just for bad interpretation. No, so it's hard to find a professional like a more than 40 years. Impossible to find someone like speak English.
It's difficult, yes. Also, for example, when I look for a notary, because my client needs it. Sometimes the client only speaks English and they have no translator. So I have to look around because many notaries don't speak English. So the problem with the public workers also exists with lawyers, maybe with lawyers less to a lesser degree, because it's an asset, of course, and people are learn English, but with notaries too. So yeah, it's not the easiest. And of course, in my experience, when you can address a foreigner in their own language and communicate well, that means a lot.
Totally, yeah. Give you trust and confidence. Yeah. So we have tricks to go faster in the process, something that you know that people maybe can do.
Sure, of course. Well, besides hiring a lawyer, which will take care of everything, but besides that, of course, knowing which documents take longer to be obtained, such as criminal records that have to be legalized, and which documents don't take that much, so you don't start getting the difficult documents last. Also, knowing the notice in which the consulates or the authorities release appointments, and basically looking at the process as a whole, that would be the best way to go. So trying to be informed about the terms of release of appointments, trying to know which documents will take more so you can do it with enough time. Plan ahead, very important, in the sense that some people want to move next month, but they should know that exactly that the document gathering takes long. So planning ahead a lot. This would be the main, and also, well, not trusting entirely the public information. Like, just read the whatever the consulate says and then contrast that, because the consulate might say criminal records apostilled, but they don't say less than 3 months old. So then you go with your criminal records that have been apostilled and they are 4 or 5 months old, and you're told to come again, or you're told that you need another appointment. So noticing the details and doing your research. Again, a lawyer knows all of this, but still.
Exactly. No, I would say at the end you need a lawyer. No, it's you can do by yourself, but we'll have all these kind of that at the end will be longer the process. And how is the digital nomad last year starting in Spain? How is the process? There are many people applying because it's true there are many digitals, but they are not working for companies. They are independent. So how is the situation? They can apply or no?
Sure. Well, for the digital nomad, it is indispensable that your relationship as a worker, as an employee, as self-employed, as a business owner is with companies. And those companies must have existed for at least 1 year, and you must have been with them for at least 3 months. And you must be projected or expected to be with them for some time more. Why is that? Basically, the administration needs stability. So granting a residence permit is a big deal, and they want to grant it to people who have job security and stability. So you have many freelancers that have few clients here and there. So the idea is to not have those people move to Spain until they can prove something more solid. So this is why we need relations with companies, because that is more stable, and also the requirements that you have to meet are tougher. So having said that, the digital nomad visa has been a massive success. It's a bit more than a year now, and many people have been moving. There's still some things to polish. For example, US employees have a hard time for boring long reasons, which I can explain if you want, but they're solving it, hopefully. But basically, it's been a massive success. I don't have the exact numbers now, but during the first year, I have been able to accumulate a lot of experience. Many people are aware of the situation more or less. But yeah, you can apply from Spain if you're legally in Spain. You can apply from outside, and if you the hardest part is complying with the requirements. But if you do comply, and you have a company that supports you, and you make a certain income and whatnot, most likely you're going to get your permit.
And America, you say, is harder to find a visa?
If they're employees, yes. If they're self-employed, that's okay. But if they're employees, basically we either need to pay Social Security in Spain or the US. If we want to pay it in Spain, the company that employs them will have to register in Spain and pay their Social Security fees. And many companies are not willing to do that. So that's what kills many applications. Or alternatively, we can obtain a certificate of Social Security coverage from the US. But that certificate was originally meant for another permit, which was the intercompany transfer. So either it's very impossible to obtain, and even if you obtain it, the Spanish authorities might not approve you. I have obtained a couple of approvals with that certificate, but I still tell my clients that even if they get it, it's not guaranteed. Now, Spain and the US are renegotiating a new Social Security agreement, and it's not confirmed, but it is expected, because otherwise it would be a missed opportunity, that they will address this matter finally, and they will allow US employees to come. But yeah, this is the situation now.
And what is the easiest visa to come to Spain, regarding your experience? What is the most common visa that is easier?
So the most common or the easier? Because it's funny because they're not the same.
Okay, so tell me about.
What I mean is that the easiest, I don't know, the easiest would be the golden visa. And it's funny because for the golden visa, you need to invest 500,000 or €1,000,000, depending on whatever you do, or 2 million in some cases. But if you have them and you can make the investment, it's very easy because it's an objective application. Some applications are subjective. If you go to the consulate to request for a non-lucrative, they're going to examine your profile a lot. If you submit a business plan, they're going to examine your activity a lot. Less and less if you apply for a digital nomad or a highly qualified professional, because here it's not so much about convincing the administration, it's about fulfilling the requirements. So the easiest process is the one that makes the administration, makes the weight of their decision to be the smallest, and that's the golden visa, because you only have to say, here, I have invested and I have a clean criminal record and I have everything. So if when I say it's the easiest, I mean the following. If a client comes and they say, I can apply for any, I will say, go for a golden visa, because it's the easiest, the fastest, and the most advantageous. The most common, probably the most common and the most standard, is a non-lucrative permit. We're talking about retirees or families that want to move to Spain. They simply show that they can support themselves and that they have health insurance, and that would be it. The only issue with the non-lucrative is that if you're very young, or you're suspected to be working, or that you're not going to work, or that you're going to work, sorry, they can deny even if you comply with all the requirements. They could say, okay, but you're going to work because you're at 30 and you have your laptop with you, and we are going to deny you because I know that you're not going to work. You can still show that you're not working and you have savings and you're still hopeful. But the easiest, the most standard, sorry, is the non-lucrative.
And there is a time in the year that you have more opportunities, or no, it's not requirement?
I'm not aware. What we have is rumors that they can approve several thousand non-lucratives per year, and that's it. Having said that, I mean, then we would be seeing massive denials in December and November, and we are not seeing that. We are seeing approvals all year long. So if they have quotas or not, no way to confirm. Tentatively, I'm going to say no, that the whole year is good.
Okay, no, just in case, no, we never know. And as soon as you have the visa, you need to continue like renovating the visa. How is the process, or what is the one that will be less process after get the visa?
Sure. Well, the shortest one, or the one that is less, that has less of a process, that's the golden visa again, because you get it for 3 years if you apply from Spain, and then you renew it for periods of 5. So for 5 years, you don't have to worry. You only have to worry about maintaining the investment and keeping your insurance, and instead, going to the standard law, I'm going to tell you the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that you get a 1-year permit, and then you renew it for 2 years, and then you renew it for 2 years more. And after 5, you can normally apply for permanent or long-term residence. Still, renewals are generally easy. You mostly have to prove that you have maintained the requirements that granted you the authorization in the first place. And then it's an online application that you do from Spain. And generally, you have a 5-month window to do it, meaning it's generally very easy. So, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, I hope everyone, all your advices are helpful. And then if they need to contact you, you are here, no, for them to help them. So
Totally.
this is why I invite you, because I know that many people want to come, or still they are coming, but they are in the process, so they are a little lost. So here we are for helping them.
Great. Great. I was happy to help. Let me know if you need anything else. But of course, anything that is needed, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Matt. It was that. Okay, thank you.
Have
Ciao,
a good
ciao.
day.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I hope this conversation helped you to understand more about this process. And if you have more questions, please let me know, because we are here to help you. This is our best mission. And please let me know, and if you are coming, why you wanna come to Spain. Let me know. I want to know too. Okay, so next time we see you in another video about Spain and everything you need to know to live here. Okay, see you later. Ciao, ciao. Bye.